Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.
Good afternoon. Here is the national news from BGI TV, Baba Bagide Imo Television. First, the headlines. Petrol subsidy removal in Nigeria's best interest. Minister. Nigeria proposes amnesty to bandits. Leave Tinubu out of Bayelsa group tells Silva. Gunfire in Gabon as soldiers seize power, cancel election results. Court remands man for beating, pulling women's gridlocks in Ogun. Finally on sport, a Yimba battle insurance, Rivers clash in opener. I am Mauricio Rabila Lawal, the news shortly. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Malagi, says Nigeria will soon begin to feel the positive impact of the removal of petrol subsidy. The minister stated this on Tuesday when he received Governor Umar Bago of Niger State in his office in Abuja. Malagi said the decision by President Bola Tinubu to remove petrol subsidy is for the good of the country. The minister further stated that the federal government has since saved money from the subsidy removal, which has been distributed to the states to cushion the economic impact of petrol subsidy removal. You will agree with me that the fuel subsidy that was removed was usually and actually in the best interest of Nigerians. We have said repeatedly that the pain of that removal will be for temporarily before the smile, the positive of it will be seen. Within a short time, so much money has been saved, and part of that money is already been sent, so that the difficulty occasioned by the removal of petrol subsidy is already being subsidized to our say. The minister also expressed confidence in the Tinubu administration to actualize its 8th priority agenda for the benefit of Nigerians. Governor Umar Bago of Niger State has said his administration is discussing with bandits to find an amicable resolution in the state of insecurity in the state. Fielding questions from journalists yesterday when he visited Minister of Information and National Orientation Mohammed Malagi in Abuja, the governor said his administration was offering bandits amnesty to drop their arms. We are discussing with them to see how we can solve the problem amicably. However, we are battle ready. We are discussing with them, not negotiation. Talking to them to come out, drop their arms and be integrated into the society. It is the clarion call. Government is working and some of these things are not for public consumption. Some of the things security agencies are doing are not what we will come out and talk about before the cameras. I can tell you that the president is deeply concerned and is working around the clock to ensure that peace returns to Nigeria, and he will leave no stone unturned in ensuring that it happens. Bago stressed that the sub-national entities were keen into the programs and projects of the president, adding, Niger has 8.6 million hectares of land with 6,000 square kilometers of arable land and 4 hydropower dams. It is 10% of the total size of Nigeria. It is therefore poised and positioned for agriculture in terms of animal husbandry, crop production, agriculture and aquaculture and other ways of food security. Earlier, the information minister told that Governor Bago, you are aware that President Tinubu's administration has 8 priority areas of focus, from security to food security, education, health, job creation, and turnaround of the economy. You recall that Tinubu on Monday had his first meeting with the new Federal Executive Council, FEC, where he gave some form of marching orders to the ministers to ensure that the priority areas were known and felt by Nigerians. A group, the Pan-Nigeria Democratic Alliance, PNDA, has won the governorship candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, in Bayelsa State, Chief Temipio Silva, not to drag President Bola Tinubu into the mud over his desperation to win the November 11 governorship election in Bayelsa State. The group, which spoke through its convener, Chief Olaito Adewale in Abuja, As a Democrat who has paid his dues, a president should not fall for the antics of anybody or group who wants to circumvent the process to attain political office against the will and choice of the majority. We are particularly surprised at the desperation of some people whose antics have already led to violence, death, and displacement in some parts of the state, particularly Busambiri Nembe. This has been the pattern in Nembe and Brass in every election cycle, particularly those that Mr. Silva is involved. The difference, however, is this one is that the boast that they have the backing of President Bola Tinubu to influence the outcome of the poll to favor Silva, the APC candidate. Biosens still remember how the governorship primary of the APC was marred and violent with violence and gross irregularities. The event was stale, and for hotel called document during the sham level primary poll, Silva reportedly got over 58,000 votes, and other contestants were said to have secured a little over 10,000 votes. The question is, did video or any pictorial evidence prove that almost 70,000 crammed into such a venue? Another one is, where were the committed APC faithfuls during the recent general elections? Did they not vote for their party? The truth of the matter is that the exercise was a mere allocation of votes and stuffing of ballot boxes. Chief David Lyon was allocated less than 3,000 votes, and it reportedly came forth and could not challenge the outcome of the exercise. Such a thing would not be allowed in the coming governorship election in the state. This is no time to count on violence and manipulation of the process to win elections. This is a period of good governance. The intention to use the same approach can only succeed if Biosens do not stand up to his antics. Otherwise, the Adamawa debacle shall be a child's play. The group further asked President Tinubu to caution security agencies, especially the police, whose leadership has made Silva's house their second home. They reminded the security agent, especially policemen, that the blood of innocent persons would haunt them if they fail to desist from being partial in their intervention in Bayelsa. PNDA called on the Acting Inspector General of Police, Mr. Tunji Egbetukun, to rein his men in and remember that posterity judges every action taken by anybody. Moving on to the next story. A dozen Gabonese soldiers appeared on television Wednesday announcing that they were putting an end to the current regime and cancellation of an election that, according to officials' results, President Ali Bongo Ondimba won. During the announcement, AFP journalists had heard gunfire ring out in the Gabonese capital, Libreville. While announcing the cancellation of the result, one of the soldiers said, "All institutions of the public and republic had been dissolved. We have decided to defend peace by putting an end to the current regime," one of the soldiers said on the TV channel Gabon 24, adding that he was speaking on behalf of the Committee for the Transition and Restoration of Institutions. To this end, the general elections of 26 August 2023 and truncated results are cancelled. He added that all the institutions of the Republic are dissolved: the government, the Senate, the National Assembly, and the Constitutional Court, he added, announcing the closure of the country's borders until further notice. Among the soldiers were members of the Republican Guard as well as soldiers of the regular army and police officers. The statement was also broadcast on Gabon public television. The announcement came shortly after the national election. Authorities said Bongo, who has been in power for 14 years, had won a third term in Saturday's election with 64.27% of the vote. Bongo's main rival, Alberto Ondo Osa, won just 30.77% of the vote according to the results. Ondo Osa had announced and denounced fraud orchestrated by the Bongo camp, claiming victory ahead of the closure of the poll. On Monday, Ondo Osa's campaign manager, Mike Joktain, called on Bongo to hand over power without bloodshed, insisting a partial count at Ondo Osa clearly ahead without providing any proof. Gabonese law forbids any publication of partial results pending the final result, which only the Gabonese Elections Center, the body that organizes the poll, is legally allowed to publish. The official election results were broadcast at about 3:30 GMT on state television without any prior announcement of the event. From Gabon story, we'll go to the next one in Ogun. A man, Oluwaseun Adebayo, was on Tuesday remanded at the Shagamu Correctional Center for allegedly beating and pulling off the dreadlocks of one Esther Odusoya at Awosoya Street opposite Iyaloja House Ajaka, Shagamu. Adebayo was arraigned before a senior magistrate of Molara Osoi of the Shagamu Magistrate Court on a 3-count bordering on assault and causing bodily harm. Information gathered that Adebayo on Saturday allegedly beat Esther with its fist blows and pulled off her dreadlocks, causing bodily harm and discomfort to the victim. The charge against the defendant read that you, Adebayo Oluwaseun, on the 26th day of August 2023, at about 11:05 a.m. at Awosoya Street, opposite Iyaloja House at Jaka, Shagamu, in the Shagamu Magisterial District, did unlawfully assaulted one Otusoya Ololuwa Esther by beating her over her face, and her head, causing her bodily harm, and thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 355 of the Criminal Code of Ogun State of Nigeria 2006. That you, Adebayo Oluwaseun, on the same date, time, and place in the aforementioned magisterial district did unlawfully and inherently assaulted one Odusoya Ololuwa Esther by beating her with fist blow all over her body and thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 360 of the Criminal Code Law of Ogun State of Nigeria 2006. That you also on the same day, time, and place in the aforementioned magisterial district did unlawfully wound and by similar acts assault one Odusoya Ololuwa Esther by pulling off her dreadlocks from her head, causing her bodily discomfort, thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 338 of the Criminal Code Law of Ogun State of Nigeria 2006. Adebayo, however, pleaded not guilty to the charges against him. Magistrate Osoi ordered the remand of the defendant and granted him 200,000 naira bail. Osoi, however, adjourned the case till October 27, 2023. On sports, defending champions Ayimba will host Federation Cup champions Pendant Insurance in one of the high-profile Match 1 fixtures of the 2023-2024 Nigerian Professional Premier League session. In a draw for the new season, which begins September 9, was conducted in Abuja on Tuesday, with other exciting fixtures on the opening weekend, which will see last season's runner-up Remo Stars face 2022 champions Rivers United in Ikene. In the other match day 1 fixture, newcomers Sporting Lagos will play their first game of the MPFL at home against Gombe United, just as Katsina United will also face Kwara United in Ilorin on their return to the top flight. 4-time champions Kano Pilas, who are also back from the second tier, will open their campaign against Sunshine Stars in Akure, elsewhere in Ibadan. Shooting Stars will also play 2 United in a reversal of their opening day encounter last season, while another newly promoted side, Atlan, will welcome Lobby Stars. There is also a South-South derby between Bayelsa United and Oka United. Abia Warrior will trade tackles with Niger Tornadoes, while Rangers hop against Doma United complete the match day 1 fixtures. According to the MPL board, over 300 matches out of the 380 games will be streamed in the incoming season with Al cameras, which are being installed and tested in 10 venues across the country. As a result, the MPL board has prevented the clubs from streaming their own matches, reserving the right exclusively for broadcast partners. In the fourth season, the new Nigeria Premier League board will be organizing after overseeing the Abrid League season in interim capacity. With the sports story, we've come to the end of today's news from BGI TV. Before we go, some headlines. Petrol subsidy removal in Nigerians' best interest. Minister. Nigeria proceeds amnesty to bandits. Information coming from the governor. Leave Tinubu out of Bayelsa poll. Group tells Silva. Gunfire in Gabon as soldiers seize power. Cancel election results. Court remands man for beating, pulling women's dreadlocks in Ogun. And on sports, Eyimba battle assurance, Remo Rivers clash in Okna. For more updates of our broadcast on YouTube, the handle is Babambagede Imo TV. Kindly subscribe and click on the notification bell. Select option all to access all of our broadcasts. On Facebook, Bagede Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. For advert placement of goods and services, coverage of events and functions, please dial the phone number streaming on your screen. Thank you for watching. I am Morire Rabila Lawal. Good afternoon.
Audio Jungle. Audio Jungle.